And maybe the NCAA had the phone lines tapped with the situation for Mike Concho. Very, very concerning. This is, maybe not the kind of not quite Kansas level investigation type stuff, but we'll see if Coach Vitello can't jump back on the line with us. Sorry about that, Coach. We got you back now.
Yeah, all good. I didn't know if that was the NCAA right there.
See, this is great minds. I just made the exact same corny joke as I was waiting for to put you back on the air.
Well, hopefully we at least got a courtesy laugh out of somebody out there.
If nothing else, I laughed, Tony. Go ahead.
But the weekend kind of comes in waves. You win on Friday and it's exciting, but if you get too excited, you're gonna come to the park and lose the next day. So to win the first game and win it kind of in that fashion with all that controversy, and then win on Saturday to win the series was great. And then you went on Sunday, and the pitching performance that took place and kind of finishing off, and a bunch of fans there, including Morgan Wallen. Just an unbelievable weekend for our guys.
An unbelievable weekend for all college baseball fans. It was must-see television. I didn't have the opportunity to go to Hawkins Field this weekend, Tony, but I had it on TV all 3 days, and this was something that you guys, both programs, getting together this way, it just speaks to the strength of this sport in our state, and certainly with another opponent in Lipscomb coming up tonight.
Yeah, you know what? The talent in the state has kind of increased as the population has. I mean, Chattanooga is a phenomenal place. I just had a couple friends from California, the L.A. area, move there. Nashville's obviously been blowing up for quite some time, and then Knoxville is only going to get bigger and better with that downtown stadium as well too. So as population goes up, talent in the state goes up, and we're never going to be able to capture all the top 15 players in the state each year, but we certainly want to get our share, and we also know when we compete against these other teams, there's going to be guys that are worthy of wearing a Tennessee uniform, and they're going to want to beat us.
Tennessee Vols head coach Tony Vitello here with us on 104.5 The Zone. You brought up the pitching, obviously, Tony. That was the story out of Game 3. Drew Beam, he's so much fun to watch work. What did you make of the way that he performed in a big spot for you guys?
He stressed me out because we kind of had this grand plan of, okay, Tidwell out of the pen, and then we got this guy available, and we like this matchup. And it was like he had him hypnotized.
Yeah.
And so maybe if you make a change, that completely goes away. And it kind of happened that way at Mississippi. The second we took them out of the game, they look like all-American hitters up and down the lineup, which they are capable of being. But Drew's kind of got that deal where he's got really good stuff. He's got great presence. And the guys really like playing behind him because they know he's going to throw strikes and they're going to get a bunch of plays, especially like Cortland Lawson, our shortstop, did.
From one Drew to another, Drew Gilbert was very happy to silence not just the Whistler, but I guess all the, just the general fan engagement that was happening at Hawkins Field over the weekend. That mentality seems to run through your program, Tony, and I got to feel like that energy comes from the top. It's really fun to watch just the difference between the way that Vanderbilt and Tennessee interact and how much more fun that makes it for the fans.
Yeah, I think so. I think our team has a lot of personality, and they did last year as well. It's one of the things that kind of captivated Ball Nation, and Drew was at the center of that last year, and he's at it this year too. And I think we've got a young, in particular, young-minded staff, and we like to kind of bounce around and I think produce a little bit of energy for the guys. But really, once the season kind of gets into the flow of things, the kids have more to do with what goes on the field and really in between those hours than we do. And, man, are we in good hands with Drew Gilbert. You talk so much in life about moderation, and most things are, in extremes, too much of something. But his killer instinct and his energy and his intensity, maybe says some things here and there in an interview. It's like, well, you may want to calm that down. But it's coming from a good place. It's coming from his heart. And when he's in that uniform, he's like a movie character. And he's got extreme versions of all good things that you like in a player.
Oh, it's, I wish that more people would be like Drew Gilbert. Just honesty, and I'm a media vulture, Tony, so this is the kind of stuff that I gravitate towards anyway. But to have that kind of honesty from a player, because it's an emotional sport that you guys play and coach, of course, at every level, and just to get a little bit of that instead of the sanitized stuff, I think it really helps people get to know the players and become more invested in the team.
No, it does. And, I've got friends that work in, media with major league teams. And a lot of guys, some of it has to do with their background they came up from.
Yeah.
Maybe they signed out of high school and weren't used to it, or they went to a college that says don't do this or don't do that. And that there's no fun interaction there. And you don't get that, deal where the fans really get to know the players. And no one puts themselves out there more than that kid. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you're wearing a different color that he's the guy that you love to hate. And if he strikes out, he's kind of brought it on himself for everybody to go nuts in the stands. But tell you what, he has success as much as he has failure, and it's fun.
Vols head coach Tony Vitello here with us on 104.5 The Zone. So you mentioned getting into the flow of the season, Tony. Obviously, it's still early. You guys have done so well in SEC play, obviously. But where do you go from here? Because coaching is obviously about, all right, we've done this. How do we not get complacent? How do we keep things kind of fresh and continue to trend upwards, because you're always looking for little ways that you need to improve the team or that the guys can improve?
Yeah, I think baseball is a game of stats, and statistically an easy thing for the coaches to point to right now is we are literally at the very halfway point. So that means half the season's gone, but still half is left, and there's plenty of baseball left to play. And what you want to do as a team in any sport is continue to peak, or build towards peaking at the right time of year. And I think there's probably even been some national championships won by teams where maybe they were better at a certain time in the year than they were at the end, but they just found a way to win. So it's not necessarily about the results, but improving in little areas that I think the coaches really do a good job when I allow those guys or I step away and they break into their positions or their groups. Those position coaches are very meticulous with details, and they're always quick to compliment but also point out mistakes. And we're making as every bit of them as much as anybody else, but I think our guys are making up for it with competitiveness and with talent. But if we can kind of smooth out some of those mistakes, then there's your improvement.
He's Tony Vitello. His team is on the field at Lindsey Nelson Stadium tonight, 5:30 Central Time. Watch ESPN app is where you can check out the Vols hosting Lipscomb. Tony, congratulations. Continued health and success for you and the team throughout the course of the season. You have to explain the Mike Honcho reference to anybody? Like, did anybody not get the Talladega Nights reference?
Yeah, there were some family members, particularly the older ones, that needed to either do a little research or whatever it might be. And I think even one of our players, I mean, it wasn't really talked about around me very much, but fortunately I didn't say anything that got me in trouble because there were some emotions bottled up there. And I think the heart and soul or at the root of this deal is a kid that is this. I'll tell you what, if anyone was to cheat on our team, that kid would be the last one. He's just a hunky-dory, big, strong kid from Alabama, and this thing turned out to where he's gaining popularity and I think also in some finances, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the beauty of this whole brave new world. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate the time.
You bet. Y'all take